Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Parker Nirenstein, and this is Vehicle Virgins. We just had a fantastic weekend in San Diego doing the Targa Trophy Rally. It was absolutely ridiculous. A ton of fun hanging with a bunch of cool car guys. Alex ended up finishing the rally first. I was right behind him, and then we found out it wasn't actually about doing all the activities as quick as possible. There was a set time, and we were supposed to try to match that time, but whatever. We had an absolute blast. The E63 was a champion on the rally. Honestly, driving a car like this on a rally can be more fun than a Lamborghini. One, you can fit more friends in it, which is great. You can fit more stuff. But two, there's a lot of times where you might be on the highway, although Targa did a very good job of not having too much highway driving, where it gets kind of uncomfortable, and after 5 hours of driving, it gets a little bit brutal in the Lambo. But this was comfortable and fast the entire way. But if you missed yesterday's video, you gotta go check that out. By the way, I've been posting updates, some behind the scenes stuff on my Instagram. So if you're not already following me there, check it out and follow @VehicleVirgins, a bunch of content that doesn't end up on YouTube. One thing that wasn't ideal about this weekend is that I didn't have a radar detector in my E63. I've been totally lazy about it. Why I haven't installed the radar yet is beyond me, but I almost feel like I'm driving naked when I don't have that radar. Even if you aren't speeding, if the flow of traffic is going 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, and that's just how everyone's going, I feel a little bit like a sitting duck when I don't have a radar so you can catch a cop way up in advance. So we're gonna do a little hardwire install today. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Two of my favorite radar detectors are the Valentine one and the Passport Max 360. Yes, they are pretty expensive, but they do the job really well. Honestly, one versus the other, totally personal preference. Now, most people, when they get a radar detector, they decide to plug it into the cigarette port and then hook it up on the windshield here with the big wire dangling down. It looks kind of ugly, but honestly, there are some benefits to that. You can take the radar detector out really easily, put it in one of your other cars, or if you're going on a rally with friends or doing a road trip and you want to have a radar in their car, you can simply just move it. I prefer to hardwire it, which actually isn't all that difficult. You do not need a professional installer, and if you've done it a couple times, it really only takes like 20 minutes. The first time I ever do it, it took about an hour, and it really only cost me less than $10. This is the Passport Max 360 unit that I had in my S-Class. Absolutely love this thing, and honestly, the mount is great. You simply put it in like this, and it's magnetic, so it stays on really well, and then you can pull it out easily. It even has directional arrows like the Valentine one does. Behind me is the actual hard wiring kit. Now, some radar detectors actually come with one. I can't remember if mine did or not, but if it doesn't, every middle grade to high grade radar detector does have a purchasable hard wiring kit, and it makes it so much easier. You could do it all yourself and do all of the wiring, but I prefer this way. So, from the manufacturer, it comes with this nice telephone cable to plug in and power the radar detector. Swing along here. It also comes with a unit to actually mute the radar detector unit itself. And then you've got this little connection here with two different wires coming out. The only part that you actually have to buy is this right here. This is like a $5 piece at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, any auto parts store. It's typically called an add a circuit. And what this allows you to do is you just simply crimp it onto the end of the wire. You can actually power the radar detector using the fuse box in your car. That way, when you turn the car off, the radar detector turns off and it doesn't kill your battery. And then you spend a couple cents buying a small little fuse. The next step is to locate your car's fuse box. Some are down in the wheel well on the driver's side. That's where the S-Class is. I believe my E63, we'll find out soon enough, might be on the passenger side in the footwell. Open that up. Now, using a user manual or Googling it, that's what I did every single time, it's really easy to find a fuse diagram and figure out what exactly each fuse does, so you can find something that turns on and off with the car, like the air conditioning, for instance. I'm on the passenger side of the E63, and look how easy Mercedes has made this. My S-Class wasn't so simple. It actually has a nice little door here with a spot to put your finger to pull that out. Sometimes you need a trim removal tool, but that's not hard anyways. Let's take a look inside here. As you can see, this is one of the car's fuse boxes, and with the add a circuit, you're actually able to remove a fuse, like let's say this one here. I'm not sure if that's the right one yet. I'm gonna look at the fuse diagram, stick the add a circuit in there, put this fuse on top of the add a circuit, so you've got two little fuses now, and then you run the cable up behind the trim, typically right along the A-pillar here, up behind the headliner, sometimes behind here, and then run it to your radar detector. Now we're gonna do it on the E63, but as you can see, hard wiring, it's really more like easy wiring. Well, see, Google is your friend because after looking online, apparently back here in the trunk, in one of my rear fuse boxes on the passenger side, there's actually a sheet I can pull out with the fuse box diagram for this exact car. I was able to actually find the diagram online on a Mercedes forum, but I figured if I can find the actual hard copy, it'd look a little better for the video. And boom, just like that, right here, looks to be a piece of paper with the fuse box diagram. This is the fuse box in the passenger side footwell. Let's see which of these fuses is related to the air conditioning. Looks like this 5 amp fuse here on the top is going to do the trick. The passenger side wheel well fuse is way too large for my ATA circuit, so I found another location with a fuse related to the air conditioning unit over on the driver's side, right to the left of the dash. This is actually exactly where I hardwired the kit for my S-Class. All you've got to do is just remove this panel here, and then we've got access to the fuse box. Here we go. This 5 amp fuse right here, fuse number 209, is the one we are looking for. Gonna pull that out and add a circuit. I am a little worried though. It's pretty tight in here. So here is how the add a circuit works. There's a top slot for a fuse and a bottom slot, and then this part that actually goes into the fuse box. The top slot is for the accessory that you're adding. So this 5 amp fuse I bought from the store. Now the bottom one is where we are going to stick this OEM 5 amp fuse. Boom, just like that. Let's go ahead and install it. Now the other cable is for your ground. So we'll probably take this bolt off a little bit and wrap it around and then tighten it back down. Boom, all set up. Now we just have to wire this up through the headliner and we'll be good to go. The next part is definitely the most difficult, actually fitting this underneath the headliner and down the A-pillar, but really after some work, it's not all that bad. For this mute button, I usually buy felt and actually stick it right here down by my right leg so it's easy to access. I don't have felt right now, but I'm gonna go grab some. Check this out, guys. The hard wire install is complete. Got the radar up there, all of the wires tucked away. The only thing I have left to do is just get some felt to secure the button right over there, and we're good to go. So, judging by the title of this video, or at least what I think I'm going to be titling this video, you are curious about the status of the S-Class. I haven't talked about this car at all recently. The last I mentioned it, I put it up on Swappolies. So, is the car gone? Did I give it to a friend? Did I trade it in? Did I send it back to the dealer? Did I sell it? What actually happened? Well, I actually was able to get the lease transferred to somebody else using Swappolies. Now, before I continue, this is not sponsored in any way by Swappolies right now. I'm just gonna talk about my full, unbiased opinion of the experience putting my car online there. And honestly, it is really positive. The fact that I was able to, within about a month and a half, put my S-Class online and actually get it taken over by somebody else is really cool. And the fact that originally I thought Swappolies meant you have to swap it for another car. A bunch of people I told, oh yeah, my S-Class is on Swappolies, and they're like, oh, what are you swapping it for? Well, turns out nothing. I mean, technically, I got this car and that's its replacement, but you don't necessarily have to get another car from them. That being said, I have seen some pretty cool deals on there, and I like the idea of getting some short-term cars. I go through cars quite a bit. I like changing it up and showing you guys new content on the channel. Obviously, I love doing reviews, and that way I can do a ton of different cars, none of which I own, but there's something different about when you actually own the vehicle. You can modify it, live with it for more than just a day or a week, and actually get to see what it's like in every single situation. So, might pick up something in the future from Swappolies, have it for 5 months, have it for a year, and then swap it out for something else. So yeah, that leaves me now with 3 cars: the E63, the Z4, and the Lamborghini Huracan. However, this car technically is no longer mine, as it's been claimed by the winner. I'm gonna get this shipped out as soon as possible. I've seen a couple comments of people saying, why is the Z4 still at your house? I totally agree. Why is it still at my house? Most of that had to do with the fact that this exact wrap color was severely delayed and back ordered, and the person who won the car, Laura, congrats again, wanted this exact color. So, this will be shipped off to the owner over in the East Coast, and then of course, when she takes delivery of it, I'll get her to send a video so you guys know which home it actually went to. Actually saying goodbye to the S-Class was a heck of a lot more difficult than I was expecting. It was the first new car I had ever owned. Before that, 2001 M5, 2004 Gallardo, and all of a sudden I jumped to a new 2016 car with all the technology that the S-Class has. I was mind blown how comfortable it was, the technological features, how it could drive itself on the freeway, the ambient lighting, the sound system, everything. The space in the rear was incredible, and I spent the better part of 2.5 years with it. I've had a lot of memories in the S-Class.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time.
So with the S-Class gone, where does that leave my garage? What are my future plans? Am I just keeping the Huracan? Am I gonna get rid of the Huracan, take the supercharger off? Honestly, I thought about this one a lot, and I love that car so much. It not only has extreme sentimental value to me, it's the exact car I wanted, but it's also just the perfect car in that price point, in my opinion. Obviously, there's other cars that are fantastic in that price point, a GT3 RS or maybe a 650S, but for me, the Huracan speaks to me in ways those cars don't, especially with that supercharger. So, with that being said, I did order a new car. Yes, something really, really crazy is going to be coming to the channel. This is not BS. I sent the money for the deposit. It's official. I just don't want to give the car away until the right moment. But I know you guys are going to love this. It absolutely blows my mind that I'm going to be able to bring this car to the channel for you guys and share some absolutely epic content. Tomorrow, I am headed off all the way to Michigan for some awesome shenanigans. I'm gonna be driving some really cool Bosch cars, and then I'm gonna be hanging out with Ty and Troy and Matt Marcoux. Baby, if you guys remember him, OG subscribers, it should be a ton of fun. And then I'm gonna be going on another rally, the Rally Kings Rally, which I've done a couple times. Absolutely fantastic, just a great group of people, and maybe some drifting. Ty has been really into drifting lately. He's definitely, obviously, a heck of a lot better at it than I am, so maybe you can give me some pointers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. If you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, @VehicleVirgins, I look forward to seeing you next video.